Hi there, it's Shirley, and today I want to talk about Q&A. And the question I'm going to refer to now is actually not something that one person asked me, but it's a general question I see a lot. It's concerning manifestation and karmic lessons. If we can manifest our own reality, does it mean that there is no karma? And if we can change our beliefs, and that is what dictates our own reality, so why do we even hold beliefs that are limiting? And to talk about this, I'm also going to talk about the simple trick to change a belief, but to actually use that and have that work for you, you need to understand what I'm going to say first. Now, so what is karma? I'm going to give my own definition of karma. A karmic lesson is a lesson, okay? When you go from high school to university, there are certain beliefs that you change, but it is timely to change them. By the time I go from high school to university, it is timely to change the belief that I can read that I cannot read more than one book a week. When I am in the kindergarten, unless I do channeling and I download information, it is not timely to believe that I can read 5 whole books a week that I would read in university. And it's not just the belief that keeps me from doing that, it's also readiness and also learning how to read unless I channel. Okay, and sometimes it is not very clear, like the discoveries in mathematics, that some of them were done by people who just did not have limiting belief concerning the abilities to do mathematics. So this is not hard science, but it is important to understand that to release a belief, it has to be timely. For example, maybe in society it was timely for certain people to not have limiting beliefs concerning certain things. And sometimes there are beliefs you have karmic lessons around, sometimes there are beliefs you easily have that other people need to go extreme karmic lessons to adopt. This is how we help each other. Okay? To make this thing more tangible, I'm going to give 2 examples from my life, one that I have absolutely no karma around, and one that I have a gazillion of karma around. So, the one I had no karma around, I remember when I began to be more interested in filmmaking. And my mother had fear. She says, you're a very intelligent person, you can go to the high-tech industry, you can do whatever you want. You used to like law, you can go to law school, you can do medicine or engineering, you can do anything you want. Why this? This is a hard industry, you need to have connections, and there's so much competition and harassments, and why this? And I told her, Mama, if my passion is to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, whatever I want to do with my life, everywhere there is competition. There is fierce competition, and to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, there is fierce competition. You have to have connections everywhere. And I didn't say it today, okay? I said that, 17 years ago. Nobody talked about networking back then. Not in Israel, not in the society I lived in. Nobody talked about networking back then. I just knew it. I was like, well, you need connections with people anywhere. You need to withstand the competition anywhere. You need to be strong anywhere. So if I'm going to do all these things, I'm going to do it regarding what I love. I feel passionate about filmmaking. I can succeed in filmmaking the way I can succeed in being a doctor, the way I can succeed in being a lawyer. And she was not very happy about it, but I told her I'm going to also learn English so I can maintain my English, so and that might give me a profession. So she was okay with it, and she let me go to university. Okay, that was where I had no karma at all. No karma at all. So many people have to go through so much karma in order to manifest what they do want, in order to take a chance of what they do want. For me, not only that I did not have the karma, I could try this and this and this and this and this, and understand that I can get striking results whenever I want. Now it's a big question to, what I want, what serves me the best. And then there is an area in my life that I have a gazillion of trauma, a gazillion of karma, sorry. Also trauma, but karma. And that's the area of relationships and sexuality. Now, mentally, I know a lot of things about relationships that I just know them. I know that a relationship is made of two that are bigger than the whole. I know that. Yeah. I know certain things about sexuality that I could teach before I even had any sexual experience. I could teach people. I know that. Yeah. But unlike the job, unlike the career aspect where I manifested and manifested and manifested everywhere I went, and I was like, oh, I'm manifesting too much, I need to understand that this is actually what I want. On the relationship front, I became avoidant, and also I didn't understand that I had underlying beliefs that are limiting. For example, I got into a violent connection, a violent relationship, and I didn't understand why, because I always knew what I knew about relationships, and I felt like I'm reliving something that belonged to my family, not to me. And that was true. I was. And so I had to learn something about karmic lessons. I had to learn something about this sort of growth. I had to learn that I have a psychology also, not only logic. I also have psychology. And where my psychology in career was very good from the beginning, my psychology in relationships, it's not so good. And I have to change the psychology, not just the logic. Okay? So this was until I even realized I have limiting beliefs. It took time. And then to release those beliefs, I had to do it one by one. I learned manifestations, and then I manifested another violent relationship. I thought to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do with that now? You know? But within the violent, I saw that it was not violent like the previous one. I had more power in it. And so I manifested healing. I learned about how to heal myself and what do I need from therapy, and I manifested therapy. And at first the therapy was good, but traumatic. And then the therapy was more fit to what I do want. So I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I had to resist on the way, and to believe more and more and more, and trust more and more in my power, and develop the expertise to manifest in the particular field. Okay, to manifest secure attachment. I had to learn what is attachment, and all of these things I learned by asking for my deepest heart's desires. And it was difficult for me because I didn't believe it can happen for me. Okay, and when it was timely, then a lot of beliefs changed. And then only, I think this week, I realized, oh my gosh, I have the belief that pain is at the heart of love. I identified previously a toxic logic where I believed I have to be healthy in order to be in a relationship, to be psychologically well, so that my relationship patterns and communication will be constructive to the relationships. But also I had a belief that I have to be ill in order to be loved, to have love. So I have to be healthy in order to have love, and I have to be ill in order to have love. How does this happen? Because at home I was very, very, very deeply loved, but there was a need to control me. So I had to be a bit ill. I had to be someone who would not get along so well in the world. I had to be someone that somebody had to worry about, will it get along in the world? So I would be in control, and I would be loved, and this is so protective, but also very limiting. It was not done on purpose. The person had undergone trauma themselves, and they experienced the world as very unsafe, so they wanted to protect me. And you know, you can only give the confidence that you have. And to change that beliefs around pain, I have to be ready to acknowledge a lot of things about the history of my family that I would not be ready if I was 17, for example, or 18. And I would fall in love with my high school sweetheart. I would not be ready to understand all the trauma, the sexual, the emotional, the lineage trauma of my family, or maybe some things that I went through in childhood. And it was not timely, because if I would try to release that, then I could fall in love with my love and would get married, and then suddenly I would kill myself because I would go to trauma treatment and then things would come up and then boom, I kill myself. Okay, because it's too much. When you release trauma, you have to do it slowly. Okay, so it's not that manifestation does not work. It's that the release of karma and the karmic lessons, which in my case were very painful, but not all karmic lessons are very painful. Yeah. For example, I have a very good karmic lesson right now with love, that the karmic lesson is to understand that I can have all this, but without the belief that love is pain. That I don't need the belief that love is pain to have love. That's my karmic lesson right now. And I'm undergoing through that, to this release of that belief. And I also had very painful karmic lessons, like, oh, I don't need to believe that, like, love is not fear of death. Okay, this is not love. So it's not that manifestation does not work, and it's not that our life is only karma. But to release a belief, you need to learn your karmic lesson and be ready to move on to the next phase in life. That's what I have to say about karmas and beliefs. And now, for those of you who have been waiting for me to tell you how to change a belief, actually in psychology, in therapy, it is something that is very simple. A lot of people teach that. Some people go to hypnotherapy or spiritual guides, the spiritual people that release certain entities that are, negative entities or entities that limit you and affect your belief system. And that is absolutely fine when it is timely. And you will know that because, for example, you can set a session with a therapist or hypnotherapist that's going to instill a new belief in you. But they cancel, you cancel, something doesn't work, it means it's not timely. So, to change a belief, you have to understand where does this belief limit you. Okay? And this usually happens through the karmic lesson. Yeah. If I believe that pain is at the heart of love, it means that every time I will have love, I will have pain along with it. Either the pain of not being together, or the pain of being together and having that being painful, or whatever. Okay. So the belief that pain is at the heart of love, first I have to identify that there is such a belief. Then I have to understand it limits me. It limits me. It calls suffering the best place possible where I have love, even when the love is healthy. Okay? So I need to release it. Why does it limit me? It does not allow me to fully immerse in love and have love that I'm with the one I love and we are, on the large picture, happy together. But what does this belief give me? It's important, okay? Because every limiting belief is there for a reason. If I believe that I cannot read more than one book a week, it means that right now it is good for me to have this belief. I need to work on my reading skills, I need to improve, I need to get good at reading one book a week. And then it would be okay to release that belief. I can say I can adopt the belief that I can read 5 books a week, and I have the tension between that belief and where I am, and I know that I'm working in progress to get to that place, but maybe right now I cannot do it, but it's not like I cannot do it ever. Okay? That's flexing the beliefs. Okay? So, but when I'm in university, if I held the belief that I can only read 1 book a week, this was limiting, but it would give me peace if I'm not doing the job. Okay? So where does the belief that pain is in the heart of love serves me? That's a good question. Let's try it now. Yes, you also get to see me doing a session live with me now. So the belief that pain is at the heart of love. It allows me to enjoy a love the love that I have right now, to a certain extent. It allowed me to enjoy a certain sort of love that I have manifested into my life right now. Can I enjoy them without the beliefs? Of course, I would enjoy them even more without the belief. Is there anything more that it serves? It is a good thing that I can say, okay, I'm still in trauma, then I don't go out and meet a man I can be with, and maybe lose the love that I have right now. Will I necessarily lose the love that I have right now? No. Maybe I can love 2 men. Maybe this is what I want. Okay. And maybe it helps me not to be worried about me not communicating with people. Do I need this belief? No. If everything is timely, then things just happen. Do I need to still believe that pain is in the heart of love? No. Okay. So I no longer need to believe that pain is at the heart of love. I'm not losing anything by saying that. I'm welcoming love that is no pain for me, and I'm not losing anything. I don't have to release people. This is important because the belief was attached to the idea that if I change the belief, then I have to lose people. But no, it's actually in order to keep these people in my life that I need to release the belief. So that I can enjoy whatever I have with these people without feeling that love, that the pain is at the heart of love. I can enjoy the love without limiting myself. Okay, so this is an example for a process of changing the belief. Do I need to believe that pain is at the heart of love now? No longer. Yeah, if I missed something and it gives me another benefit that I cannot think of, then it will come up in the coming days, and I will release that too when it's timely. So this is something I did with myself. Yeah, I have released the belief that pain is at the heart of love right now with you. It was timely for me. To understand this, I need to manifest first love that is strong enough, that gives me the ability to believe that I can love. Okay? And it needs to disturb me enough so that I can identify what is at the basis of the toxic logic that I have concerning love. That was the gap between this world and the next world, this phase and the next phase. Okay? And then to change the belief, you saw. What does this belief give me? Do I need this belief to get it? No. Okay, bye belief. New belief now. So, hope this one helped. You can write down in the comments, tell me about your own experiences, your view upon karma, upon beliefs, limiting belief. If you have experienced with that, are there beliefs that you want to change? Then if there are, another thing that can help in changing beliefs is finding evidence for the new belief. That's something that Abraham Hicks does with their focus wheel, if you want to know more. And to find out more about manifestation, make sure you check out my channel, click the bell, the subscription and the bell for notifications. If you have any more questions for me, do ask them in the comment section. I'm working on an email subscription list so that you could eventually be able to join my subscription list and get notifications from me wherever I post on social media. So it can serve you well if you're, you forget to subscribe, or if I'm no longer on this social media. For example, I'm looking to decentralize social medias in the future, so you want to maintain contact with me and get to know where I'm at, where I change. So do make sure you keep up with this channel. I'm going to let you know when I have the new mailing list so that you can subscribe and learn from me. Meanwhile, you can find my daily inspiration tips on Instagram, and for more discussion on the manifestations and how to work with manifestations, you have my Facebook group called Manifestation Tips that actually work. I'm going to link it down below. So hope you have a good time. Hope this was helpful, and I hope this was healing for some of you. And let me know in the comments if you have any more questions. If you're interested in how I work with crystals and how I use crystals for channeling, I also have a video on my channel to do with that. I'm going to link down below. And have a great day. Have a very liberating spring. And I'll see you again next week.